All right, as I told you earlier today from the home studio, even though it's going to be a short turnaround and I'll be up at 2 a.m., I had to come to Eastern Ohio to the farm, the family farm of the Dawson family. Of course, Gretchen, his lovely bride, and the best friend a man could ever have, the late Digger Dawson, who recently passed away. And you know, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So whenever I'm around Belinda, I feel as though I'm still with her father. Same personality, and as I was talking to someone earlier today, how you helped her when her mother passed away, my friend Barbiani, sending her that very nice note. I caught up with her at Walmart, a little pit stop on the way here to the farm. This is truly a sanctuary, and I understand totally this was your grandfather, Dyke Beatty's farm, why your mom and dad love this place. It really is like so far away from the rest of the world.
It is a sanctuary, kind of. You know, they've been here 53 years. This year will be 53 years, and they built this home from a barn that was 100 years old. It was up there off of Hill Boulevard, and they decided that the church was going to build a new church there because the highway had come through. And Mom and Dad saw this barn and said, "Hey, we'll take it apart and move it out to the farm." So
they're here, and they're going to be here for a long, long time. But listen, such a historic place. The man that actually had this farm, who sadly drowned and died here at the farm, the grandfather, invented the penalty flag as the Steelers season is set to get underway. And of course, East Liverpool's football team, Beaver Local, they're all scrimmaging this weekend, and football season is just about here. Before we get to a whole lot of stuff, your dad loved the East Liverpool Potter football team.
He loved all football. I
Yeah.
mean, let's face it, he loved all sports, but he just had a special place in his heart for football. But the Potters, I think, because he was born and raised on, in our downtown East Liverpool, he just always loved anything having to do with the Potters. When my brothers played at Beaver Local, he loved the Beavers too, but he was always blue and white at heart, and really, I think more than anything, just loved high school football because it's just kind of a different style of play. Those kids were scrappy, had a lot of heart, and he just got so attached to so many of them. And I mean, from the first time that he went to a football game in 1947, I think, he rarely missed a game because he just loved those kids. He loved seeing them succeed. He knew a lot of them had, some tough stuff to deal with, but he found a way to help and encourage the best that he could. And he was kind of that way with all people. He just was a lover of people. He always saw the good in them. He believed in them. He just wanted the best for them.
He was the best friend a person could have. And I can't imagine having him as a dad and Gretchen as a mother. Earliest memories of your clan, the Dawson family, growing up, what was it like being the children of those two dynamic people?
Oh, I told you I was woefully underprepared.
That's okay. It had to be so gratifying to have.
We say we had such a magical childhood. We just had it was just a wonderful family to grow up in, mostly because they really just put us first, but yet showed us the importance of valuing community and family, friends. I mean, my dad was just always up front and center, but Mom was the wind beneath his wings. I mean, she just, the epitome of the mom that encouraged and was there for every little thing. I mean, I can just think of so many things that she was just there for, that she took care of. Everything was homemade. I mean, she just never ever complained. People say, "Is your mom like that all the time?" I'm like, yeah, she really is. But just there was a big age gap. I'm the oldest, and then we have my sister 2 years younger, then my one brother 8 years younger, my other brother 10 years younger. So there was a big age gap, and even so, they found ways to do things that would interest all of us at all ages, and we moved out here, and they just always loved having our friends here. We had a tire swing hanging there behind you. We had square dances. We had inner tubes down the creek. We just had dance parties, just you name it. But they loved when the house was full of people. They loved having friends here, sharing their joys, and they were happiest when there was a lot going on. So.
You understand, this is maybe one of the first interviews that I haven't had to carry my weight and then some, because this incredible human being, many years ago, you may not remember, I met her at the radio station. She was recording something, I think for Frankly Speaking, which was a program that her father had done, of course, Frank Dawson. You actually, did you work there, or did you study journalism?
Yes, I did. I went to Mount Union and I did study journalism, and for a couple of summers they took pity on me and let me work at the radio station. And my mom was probably one of my only listeners, and she would drive to the end of the lane so that she could get the radio signal in. Then my dad would call on every break and say that I missed something that had happened overnight. And he yeah, it was great.
See, I stood on the shoulders of giants because of her father and so many others. I literally learned to be a broadcaster. I literally learned one day at a time, 1 week at a time. I stayed here 10 years too long because I was in Pittsburgh full time. But my entire career, even though I worked in radio before I got here, it was all because of her father and others. And the other person that I'm going to give credit to, because he was there the same time you were kind of coming in and out, Stu Wilson. Stu Wilson was from Wellsville. He was a tugboat captain, but he at one time was a radio / voiceover person. And he would come in on the weekends and do the Ogilvy ads. And he would do it right out of the newspaper. And you had to do a 30-second or 60-second spot. He would look at the ad, and I'd stand behind him, and I'd watch that second hand, boom. He would end it exactly when he was supposed to by reading it off the paper. So I said, if Stu can do it, I can do it. And as far as my speaking ability and where I go and who I talk to and how I present myself, your dad might have been one of the best after-dinner speakers that this part of the country has ever seen. He was amazing at that.
No, it was from the heart. I mean, he loved being, in front of people, and he would get all energized by that. But he was so proud of you, Rob, that you started where you started. He saw you like in the early days. He knew you and just followed you through all the highs and lows of life, and just that you rose to where you are now. He was so proud of that.
Let's just be honest. So I've had my moments when it comes to failed marriages and certain things that have happened in my life. But the one constant, death of a parent, something going wrong with a family member, a friend. If I just needed someone to have my back, your dad was always there. Just a phone call away. Or he would call just at the right time. And he never judged. He was a very spiritual person, but he didn't wear it to it was like everybody knew it. But down deep, he was at peace with himself, but he also knew his mission in life was to help others in their time of need. That's why I've never been able to tell that man no. Never. And I'll never tell you no. And your mother as well. And before we leave, how life goes in full circle, Craig Burbick, who did basketball, football, went to the Naval Academy, used to call him the Admiral. How things do go full circle. His granddaughter, Josie is filming this video. Is that not like...
It's awesome.
It is awesome. So
we have the noise, I should explain the noise in the background. We've had for a lot of years, our family is very musical, and we love to just sit around and play instruments. Well, it's kind of taken on a life of its own, and tonight we're having a little family band, but we've got some friends over, and you could probably hear it in the background. It's my brother Cliff, my daughter Amy, her husband Blake Anderson, my two cousins, one Josie's dad Brad Burbick and his brother Rob Burbick, and it's a very special group. We have a lot of fun together, and they're just out there sweating and singing, and we'll have some dancers come by later, and my dad would be loving this.
Well, let me end on this note, because I've got to get back to Pennsylvania, and they've got to go party and relax and have some fun, and I'm always honored to be here. And I will always be in their corner, and whenever they need me, they know I will pick up the phone immediately. But the amazing thing to me about your dad, who dealt with death every day, because that was his business, he got the most out of life. But what he did, and I saw my dad do the same thing, they died with such courage and dignity. And as I sat there with him in that hospital, he was clinging to life. I just kept thinking, yeah, he lived a long life, but he lived life to the fullest, and he truly was one of the most courageous people I've ever met.
And we take great comfort in knowing he he didn't suffer, and he knew where he was going. He passed away in a comfortable bed in the hospital where he was born, with loved ones holding his hand. I just am very thankful for that. And
I have to ask you one thing, and you know me, I ask the question because people want me to ask these questions. Your dad, who did incredible, I mean, it was like Chopin conducting an orchestra when he would basically have someone's funeral. And I used to just, to this day, I go to different places and they just, with all due respect, they're good, but they don't have the same passion and flair that he had. But he went out very quietly. No service, no nothing. Any reason why he wanted that?
I feel, and I've
Too
I've
humble,
said,
maybe?
Well, I have said, people have asked me, I said, not in any way to undermine the grief of all the families that he had served for 70 years of his life. He obviously believed in what he did. He loved his work. He was very passionate about helping others and serving others. I don't know if it was, we don't really know, but it was his wish to kind of just bow out gracefully, and we honored his wishes. It was hard. I mean, it was something we just felt important because he had said that's what he wanted, but he, with all his heart, believed in what he did, his life's work, and, had so many people that he has helped along the way that have come forward, and that has meant so much to the family.
And he meant so much to me. I truly loved him like he was my own father, and I will take him with me the rest of my life, and I will always be here for Gretchen, this family, and of course her. But know this, Digger would want us to all live, enjoy the most that life has to offer, and always remember friends and family and faith. Thank you for letting me come.
Oh, Rob, my pleasure. We're just thrilled that you found your way back here.
Listen, it was one of the rare times that even the GPS, because I don't get here that much, but I got to tell you, this is beautiful countryside. It is, isn't it?
It's beautiful. Yeah.
All right. Hey, I'll be with you on the radio tomorrow bright and early after the CBS Radio News at 5 a.m., KDK 100.1 FM, AM 1020, all weekend long. Lots of stuff to get to. Steelers playing some football. Cincinnati, the Reds in town playing the Pirates. So you know those Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday shows that we love to do. 11 o'clock, Ray Fittipaldo, of course, from Steelers Training Camp, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and those Coons Market sports reports all weekend long. Have a great rest of your night from the beautiful farm, the family farm of her, the Dawson family, and your Pratte Pack. Good night. Have a great weekend.